And good evening from the Panther Den on the campus of United Township High School, better known as East Moline. This is Quincy High Blue Devil basketball, Western Big Six style. And good evening and welcome. I'm Jeff Wellman as we're on the road. Usually the first conference game the last few years of the Western Big Six for the Blue Devils. This year, it's the fourth game as both these teams come in 3-0, the last two 3-0 teams in the Western Big Six. So tonight, whoever walks away with the victory is the leader so far in the Western Big Six. The Blue Devils come in 8-0, 3-0 in the conference. East Moline comes in 6-1, 3-0 in the conference. Their loss, of course, was DeKalb in a non-conference game, 57-54, and I believe that was overtime as well. Devils had two wonderful games against non-conference games. Chaminade, the best team in St. Louis, with a victory there. Webster Groves, not bad themselves, and a second victory. You'll hear from Coach on that. But before you hear from Coach Douglas, let's hear from Coach Pettit. And Coach, we're back up here. Last night, of course, I was up here with the girls. They ended up losing a close game to East Peoria. I did that last night. East Moline. So now it's really the boys' job for revenge for that victory or that loss last night.
Well, I tell you what, when you put Quincy High and United Township on the same court, whether it be girls or boys, you're going to get a heck of a battle. I look at East Moline's only loss to DeKalb. DeKalb's other losses are to Mattia Valley, Plainfield North. So they're playing big time competition in Chicagoland market. So I think this is going to be a good one tonight. Quincy High, they need to, it starts with their defense, and then it turns, to deflections into pushing the ball for easy offensive opportunities.
Indeed it is. This is the pregame show. Of course, the coaches' comments are brought to you by Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai, faith, family, and giving back. And let's hear what Coach Douglas has to say.
And welcome back to the pregame show brought to you by Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai. Joining me, the Blue Devils skipper, Andy Douglas. A couple good non-conference victories against Chaminade, the number one team at the time in St. Louis, and Webster Grove, another good St. Louis team. How'd you evaluate those two games?
I thought we did a really good job of showing, maybe proving to us coaches that we're capable of playing tough, for both games. I mean, similarities between the two. Obviously, Webster Grove's a little smaller than Chaminade. They're not trucking 6'8", 6'10" out there, but the physicality that they play with, I thought our guys did a really good job of overcoming that and then toughening up, what we do offensively and defensively, and, it led to wins for us.
Well, we know what we're doing defensively. Offensively, but I've noticed this year, knock on wood, we've been really consistent, over 60 points every game, and we really haven't had an issue where, we can't find somebody that can score.
Right, and we want to do a good job of spreading the ball, making sure, the one thing is when and we've been in this situation before where you have one or two guys that can put the ball on the rim, it's a lot easier for a defense to key in and help off the guys to stop those two guys from scoring. When you have five guys out on the floor that are capable of putting the ball in the basket, it's a really difficult guard. So, our guys have done a really good job of growing within our offense, taking advantage of opportunities that arrive. And, when you have that, you're going to get, 60-plus point games, and we've had those.
And also, most years we're playing the Panthers. It seems like the first game of the year up here.
Right.
This year, a little deeper into the schedule, and also no Weber. Coach Weber's gone. Also, Amarian Roberts and Bristol Lewis, two of the players, which always nice to see them pass on too.
Yeah, some tough guys that they left that are gone now, and other guys, newer guys that are in the lineups that are filling in pretty well for those guys. They put four guys, five guys at times that can put the ball in the rim from deep, so it presents a different problem. And then their guards are smaller, so they're shifty. They can get into the paint. When you make a defense collapse, which is what we do within our offense, you're finding open guys on the perimeter and inside. So it's going to be a tough guard for us tonight, but I think our guys are motivated.
Well, both teams are playing well. They're both 3-0 in the conference. After tonight, only one of the teams will be at the top of the conference. I know we want to take care of business.
Absolutely. I mean, you get opportunities like this. We have 3 games before the end of 2023. We want to make sure we go out with a bang.
Sounds like like a winner. Good luck tonight. We'll see you after the ball game.
Sounds good. Thank you.
That's Coach Andy Douglas. Brought to you by, of course, our sponsor, QHS Honda and QHS Hyundai. Up next, it's the Blue Devils and the Panthers right here on MeccaSportsCo.com.
And we thank Coach Douglas for the pregame show, and we also thank QHS Honda and QHS Hyundai. Don't forget this Sunday, the 17th, out at the Festival of Lights, right out there on 36th Street, the old Wavering in Moorman, Maine, the ballpark. The lights have continued, and QHS is sponsoring that. It is QHS night that night. If you come out between 5 and 7, you got to catch them in the first 2 hours, and you've got your license plate that says QHS on it. QHS will pay your way in. There'll also be candy canes out there, and that is while supplies last. So get there before Coach Pettit gets there, and he'll eat the whole box before we get a chance.
Well, he'll be home by then.
Yeah, that's right.
He'll be home by then.
Well, Coach, you heard there. We didn't really specify any names out there, right? Because, again, we left a couple of good ones last year, and we really haven't seen any box scores to tell. We do know that they're playing well, 6-1 and 3-0 in the conference, and we don't know the coach. In the past, you've got a great relationship with Coach Weber. And what is Coach Weber doing these days?
Well, he's over at Bettendorf coaching his daughter, at the varsity level over there with the girls program. So good luck to Coach and, in his future endeavors. Looking at this team now, though, with the new coach, Andy, I believe his last name is Sae. I'm not really sure. Most recently came from Taylor Rockridge, who has been a power in, I believe, 2A the last, he's been there for 6 years. His record there is 121-40. He's got 2 fourth-place, trophies sitting in the Rockridge trophy case. So he's 6-1 here at UTS, and he had 1 year back in Galva back in, I believe, 2012, where he's 15-50. So overall, Coach is 142-56. Looking at the starting lineup for United Township tonight, 3 sophomores and 2 seniors, will be starting for the Panthers. So once again, very young team. On the varsity roster, you got 1 freshman, 6 sophomores, 5 juniors, only 3 seniors. So very young team that's playing very well, and they're playing here at home. So it's going to be a very dangerous game tonight for the Blue Devils.
Well, Coach, think about it there. I remember a team 2 years ago, very young, with a bunch of freshmen that won the Western Big Six. I think they call them the Blue Devils. Yep.
And like I say, it's one of those things to where, a complete, reset for the Panthers. I think it's going to be a fun game tonight. I mean, you're playing for the early season lead, of the Western Big Six, which team that wins tonight is going to have the, upper hand. And, once again, we talk about the haves and the have-nots. Moline just beat Rocky, so both of those teams are 2-1 now. It's, I think a 2-point game if I'm not mistaken. And
67-63.
Okay, 4-point game. And then you've got, the 3-0 Blue Devils and the 3-0 Panthers. Then you start going on the other side. I think Sterling's going to come. Sterling's better than what they've shown so far. The Blue Devils, I think, got lucky when, Austin was on a recruiting visit. 6'7", 275. Maybe you should go straight to the Bears and play left tackle.
I still can't believe when I heard that it was a football visit in the middle of basketball season. Then you kind of scratch your head and go, well, why are you playing basketball, and why couldn't you schedule around that? But that's between him, his coach, and
well, you got a D1 scholarship on the line. You may not see him the rest of the year. If he decides to sign with that, and Virginia, I mean, that's out in the SEC. They play some pretty good football out there.
Not bad at all, actually. And he plays some pretty good basketball when he's on the court as well. So,
excuse me, ACC, not SEC.
Speaking of the rest, the SEC ain't too bad either.
Yeah.
Except for Bama team's mediocre.
Well,
that's out there to Coach Bruner. So anyway, looking at tonight, here it is, the 15th of December. Happy birthday to Dennis Oliver, famous radio personality in Quincy. Spent time also in Canton at KQ 102, 99Q, and as well as Y101. So happy birthday, number 69, Dio. So tonight, we're here. Sterling is hosting Alleman. Sterling should win that. Yeah. Sterling, again, you mentioned 1-2 in the conference, but they're 6-2 overall. So they are playing ball, but then the Western Big Six. So when they run into the rest of them.
And who have they lost to in the Big Six? They beat Moline.
That's right. That really Moline, then lost to Rocky. Remember, they got blown out by Rocky right after that. So, and then Rock Island tonight is hosting Geneseo. Shouldn't be much for them.
No.
And then we mentioned the last one, Galesburg's hosting Moline. And again, looking at the conference, right now, Quincy and East Moline are at 3-0. Rock Island and Moline are at 2-1. They're all in pairs, by the way. Sterling and Alleman are both 1-2. And backing up, Galesburg and Geneseo are at the bottom, both 0-3. We mentioned that Sterling and Alleman, both 1-2. One of those now will get a second victory tonight. So, and then you don't face anybody.
Alleman's only win those against Geneseo. So, it's one of those things where I think Sterling, could give a lot of teams a whole lot of problems, if they're at full strength. Yeah,
that would be the very key right there. Because we know they've got a stud in there that plays pretty good basketball.
Yeah.
Each year he's been there, and he's a good football player as well. So, Well, looking at the Devils as they come in, they're averaging 67.6 points a game, giving up 42.6. On the other side for East Moline, they're almost 59 points a game and giving up 43. Somehow that looks like, that would be right, because they're 6-1 and 3-0.
Yep.
For a minute there, it looked like my Chaminade line as well, and I knew that that was not in there. We took that one out of there. I don't need the calculator. I need the light when it comes on, folks. As we get ready here for the national anthem, we'll also listen to the national anthem as we stand. Unlike LeBron James, what I just saw online the other day with his hat on, sitting down during the national anthem, that's pathetic. And that was our national anthem by the UT Band, where we were over there one year in that direction. Of course, we don't think we'd want to sit there right behind the band, in front of the band. Here's our starting lineup right now for the Blue Devils in their road blue trimmed in white. Ralph Wires will be starting at one guard, number 3. He's a 5'10 senior.
Looks like they've inserted Longcore back in the starting lineup. Looks like Dom Clay's going to come off the bench tonight.
Number 4, Camden Brown, 6'5 senior, the other guard also out there. Tyler Sprick wears number 10. Almost didn't see Tyler out there for a second. 6'3 senior. Bradley Longcore the third, number 12 is back in the lineup, 6'4. He's a junior. And Keyshawn Thomas, he had 24 the other night, 6'6 junior. And of course, coaching staff, Andy Douglas, Bruce Bonas, and Ryan Brown, also in spirit, Tom Lepper. And we do a shout out to Tom Lepper as well. I would say much like Blue Devil Gymnasium, they turn the lights out, yes. They have some lights going on, yes. But they do not have the Blue Devil, no. And so the difference is they bring the Panther out.
Here comes the Panther.
Now, how long has this procedure going on?
I think Coach Weber started it back, 8, 9 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember it when I played up here.
That's what I was just wondering if if they played.
I don't know if they started, when Coach Bruner was here, or you know what I mean. It's.
We'll ask Coach Bruner next time I get a chance there.
Yeah. And he'd have been after me a little bit.
And he'd been here a while. Tom Lepper will be the best one to ask too, because Tom has been here basically since he got done playing, he came back out and started coaching.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup now for.
What's the Panther have on, like a pink tutu or something?
It sure looks like it, so I'm not going to say a word about it.
Well,
I said something about the kids' pink tennis shoes last. I don't mind Jada Brown having her pink shoes. They look good. So here's what it looks like here for UT. Number 3, Dominic Roden. He is a senior. We do not have heights on them here. Josiah Massey, a sophomore, wears number 11. Number 21, Max Colgan, another sophomore in the starting lineup. Number 30, Kagan Terrell, and he is a senior. And then the third sophomore in the lineup, number 34, Octavius Hickman. He also is a sophomore. Andy Saya, along with Toby Whiteman, Kyle Ellison, and Jesse De Silva. And that's your coaching staff for UT. UT wearing their home white trimmed in little black and orange. As we always mention, looks like between here and Palmyra and some of the schools, the Beardstown, the Halloween colors out there. You know, and last year, you know, looking at the games when we did play, on December 3rd or 2nd up here, East Moline kept it close. I mean, it was a first quarter 8-2 Blue Devils. We won that one 62-50. Longcore had 17, Clay had 12, and Wires and Brown had 10. Then back in January at Blue Devil Gymnasium, it was a 63-51 game, a 12-point game. So both games were 12 points. Longcore had 17, Sam Mulheron had 14, and Keyshawn had 13 in that ball game. So they kept it close last year with the squads. Was it last year or the year before that we did not have one game with Weber playing? I can't remember if that was 2 years ago or if that was this last year.
I think it was 2 years ago because I believe we got up here and he had COVID early. We came up here and beat him 70-49, and he didn't coach. And then he came back and coached in Quincy, and that was my infamous 55-45 game.
Indeed. Game is opened up. Devils got the opening tip. Now we're waiting for lights to come back on a little bit more. Tyler Sprick in the left corner. Three-pointer from Tyler Sprick. And the Devils open up right off the bat.
Nice driving kick by BL3.
You know, maybe this is, if I remember right, the sides over here, you almost have to keep your lights on. Oh. In the half-court set. Shots partially blocked, it looked like, slipped out. Thomas got the rebound. Devils in transition. Sprick from the same spot. No good. Bounces on the weak side. Rebounded by East Moline.
Good patience by Camden Brown on that rebound. I thought he was going to reach over the top.
Ball falls into the left corner. Double check there. Max Colgan had the ball.
Almost thought he was out of bounds there.
Look close there. Hickman with the top to the right side. Into the corner. Ball was tipped out of bounds. BL3 knocked it out of the hands of Dominic Roden.
Good quick hands by the Blue Devils. A lot of length out there on the floor right now.
You know, they had 17 players on the roster, and I didn't know early who might be playing, so you got to pick who you're going to put doubled up. Colgan was one of them, so hopefully he doesn't shoot much. Octavius Hickman at the top. The Hickman, got to watch saying that too loud in the Blue Devil fans. Crossover. Roden gives it up. Massey has it, keeps it left side to Roden. Thomas picks him up. Quick switch there, good job by Wires. Hickman, top of the key, and Hickman drills a three-pointer at the top. Let me tell you, Coach.
That was a nice stroke.
The Lewis girl last night was just about like Hickman, a little shorter, but the same size, and she still took shots from outside. Inside. Longcore, good move, step down. Hickman tried to come down. Longcore gets the score.
Nice weak side screen by the Blue Devils on that one.
5-3, Devils with a lead. Back on defense now, matching up man-to-man. Wires out on Roden. Brings him to the center of the court to the right. Passes off and gets it back. Thomas helps out. Thomas gets pushed as falling down there on the drive was Roden. So the first foul of the game, first foul of the quarter, and the first foul on the Devils, all at the same time, obviously, goes on Keyshawn Thomas. We played a minute, actually 2 minutes here now and 2 seconds. Devils lead 5-3.
Blue Devils are very active on the defensive end with their hands and their feet.
In the high post is Hickman. Put a back screen on Brown there for a second. Ball stays on the left side, and that's Massey. Into the corner to Colgan. Colgan stopped right there by Longcore. Bounced into the high. Oh, Brown was sneaking up behind, just waiting. Good job of sliding through, but better job of the hands of Thomas. Outlet, and there's a reverse layup. Camden Brown with the score. Good job by the Devils. Got it in transition. Ball didn't hit the floor but once.
Good job by Camden coming in on the left side and then moving over to the right side. You know, so the East Moline guy would have had to have fouled him if he wanted to try to stop it.
And it was Hickman, the big sophomore. Devils leading 7-3. Wires out on defense. Ball comes left side. That is Kogan over there, down into the corner. That's first time I think Terrell actually touched the ball. Skips it over to the right side. Devils matching up into the corner. Brown stops. He impedes the progress of Massey. It bounces off Brown's foot, so it will be UT's ball under their own basket.
I've always taught that you play defense with your feet, and it's a great job by Camden Brown moving his feet, cutting the baseline off.
And I don't believe you can do like we did, where you can put your foot out of bounds. I think that's not allowed now.
No.
If they hit you, it's either you're out of bounds. It was violation one year. Hickman gets the ball, goes in strong,
Traveled.
but Hickman, he took a big step like he was going to jump up and dunk it on Sprick. And once he got that first step, Sprick was lucky that he didn't have to take the Jeremiah on him, because that's a load to take.
He's a big
Oh,
boy.
they're banging right now. Him and
yeah.
Thomas are banging. Once Hickman got down there, he threw a little chest at him right off the bat. Just a friendly chest, a halo. Brown at the top to the left side to Wires. Wires goes base, short baseline. Thomas missed the shot. Had the gun on 8 feet, and it was only 7. And there's Wires with a steal. Outlet to Brown. Brown up. Oh, and he missed the dunk. He was trying to throw it down, but it was in between, so it was going to be soft, and it spun out. Halfway through the first quarter, Devils leading 7-3. You're listening to MeccaSportsCo.com. Jeff Wellman, Dave Pettit. Blue Devil basketball. On the left side, Terrell.
Another deflection.
And a good hands by Brown. Brown out there pushing Hickman out. Here's Roden. Roden trying to get around Sprick. Sprick has a nice job. Roden does a better job with off the glass. That was a nice move there, Coach. Loncourt on the left side, back to the top of the key. Devils already in the half-court set on offense. Camden looked at it briefly to Sprick, flashing over. Thomas, short little hook. Nice move by Thomas. Faked right, went left. Nice touch.
Nice reverse pivot by Keyshawn down on the block.
And they're worried about Sprick after hitting that first three in the corner, so that stretches out the defense. Terrell over to the right side. Kogan shot, no good. Weak side rebound. Thomas got at least 3 already. Bradley Loncourt starts to drive up, finger roll. Nice move off the glass, just rolled off too hard. Rebounded by UT. Down the right side of the court, Roden. Stopped there by Brown. Reversed around to Kogan. Back up to the top. That's Hickman at the top of the key. Loncourt has him now.
I think we're in a matchup 1-2-2 now.
Yes, with Bradley at the top, Wires and Brown at the next level, Sprick and Thomas. And that's only because of the switch of Loncourt and Wires. Roden, right corner, 3, no good. Weak side rebound, Ralph Wires. Ralph down the right side. Ball almost stolen, but saved right back to Wires. And we'll reset the offense. Top of the key. Keyshawn spins at the high post. No good on the shot, but he's going to get to shoot 2. I got to believe that Hickman, the big guy, with body.
Nice spin move, nice left hand by Keyshawn, going the other way against the big guy.
Actually, they did not whistle it on Octavius Hickman.
Really?
But on the drive, it was Max Kogan. So the first foul on UT. He must have been one of those reaching in as he spun around. But I still thought there was contact, too. Now, if they did like last night's girls' game, they allowed them to play. And so the big girls, the Awoos, on the one side, and, of course, our girls, both Foey and Brown, were all banging very hard last night. Everybody slept good last night.
Oh, yeah.
They slept a little better.
Especially the Lady Blue Devils, they had to drive back.
We got the drive, and then also we had the loss, too.
Yep.
So a little taint on ours. Keyshawn goes 2 for 2 from the charity stripe, 11-4 with 2:25 left in the first quarter. Devils back on defense, matching up man-to-man. All the way out there, 22 feet. It's the big Hickman. Thomas is on him. Made him pick the ball up. Now a backdoor cut, and Terrell flew through the lane.
Called a foul.
Grabbed the ball, yeah, and it was amazing because the Devils were going one direction. He was going the other direction, but somebody had a hand on him long enough to give him the foul, and they're going to call that on Bradley Loncourt. Bradley's first and the Devils' second of the first quarter. Inbounded. New guy in. That was Adrian Hughes inbounding the ball for UT. And it comes back down. Good pass from Hickman. He was at the top of the key. And Josiah Massey was underneath the basket for the layup. 11-6 inside 2 minutes. Dom Clay's in. He's got the ball on the left side. Back to the top to Brown. Working hard inside is Thomas. Cameron Wires is also in. Pull up, 16-footer. No good. Brown gets the rebound. Brown up under. Count it. He's going to get an and one. Camden got the ball, went up, pulled it down, back under, went up, made the basket. And the foul looks like it was on Hughes, and that's his first and the second on UT. Brown's going to shoot a free throw.
That's one thing Camden's done in the last 2 games I've seen is he's done yeoman's work on the offensive glass, you know, and if he keeps doing that, you know, he'll be very valuable down the stretch.
Well, the great thing is, Coach, is he's quick. He's a quick jumper, and he's also a lateral jumper, too. So if you get him inside out there, he'll get to the ball, and he'll get back up before you have an opportunity.
6'5" and long, that helps, too.
Indeed. He did hit the free throw. Devils are now up 14-7. Still with a minute and a half left first quarter. UT has the basketball in their set. Working right to left on your dial, in your head, or however you play it. That's what, and most of the time recently here, it seems like, Coach, it's been forward and backward. We've been, you know, north-south instead of east-west.
Yep.
And so we can't use the old left or right on your dial. Approaching a minute. Goes into the high post. New player in the ball game was Tucker Speckman. Lost the basketball, and here comes Cameron Wires.
Ooh.
Cameron zips one across court, right through the hands of Dom. A little behind him, but I don't think Dom expected that much juice on it. Camden Brown.
I think Dom was wanting him to throw it up to the rim so he could go up and get it and just throw it down.
There's no doubt about that. There is anybody who knows Dom knows that that's where he wants that ball. Dom, you might have to take it every once in a while and go, you know, by yourself. 1 minute left in the first quarter. Cameron Wires along with his brother Ralph in the ball game. Longcord Thomas and Dom Clay. Ball on the left side, getting the screen by Speckman. Back over to the left side.
Good hedge by Keyshawn on that pick and roll.
Hughes goes other side to Roden on the right. Cameron Wires guards him. Trying to screen there. Speckman doesn't get a very good screen. And the Devils pretty well drowned it out from both sides. Cameron Wires on Roden. There's a backdoor cut. Oh, and a great block from behind. Clay blocked the shot from behind on Massey.
Delayed call.
A very delayed call because the action was already going the other way. The Devils took off with it. So Dom Clay will be his first. Team's third of the first quarter. And going to the line will be Massey to shoot. And it will be two.
You got to have better weak side help on that play. You know, Dom got beat back door, but, you know, we had somebody on the other side of the lane. They should have been right underneath the basket. One step out, and then you stop the drive, maybe get a charge.
Dom does a good job of blocking shots from behind. I think he must have had his hand down below on him. Second free throw is good for Massey.
Last shot for Blue Devils.
14-8, 22 seconds left in the quarter. Ralph Wires across the timeline, inside 20. He'll get it to Cameron. He's at half court on the left side. Into the high post now is Bradley Longcord the third. Low post is Thomas. Cameron. Oh, and a great fake. He faked to the corner, and then a backdoor cut by Keyshawn. Keyshawn went in strong. Pretty decent defense, but it also had to hold his arm and a little body. And so Keyshawn, with 5.7 seconds left in the quarter, will shoot two. And the foul will be called on Terrell, his first, and the third for UT.
Nice backdoor cut by Keyshawn. When Wires started dribbling the ball at him, his guy froze. He went backdoor, got it right to the hole.
I actually thought, Coach, that he let go of it, and I said, oh my gosh, he just threw it away, and he did not. He went full boat on the cell.
Yep.
Keyshawn hits both free throws. 16-8, down to 4 seconds. Roden comes down to the corner, down to the block. Turnaround shot, no good. And that will do it for 8 minutes of the ball game up here at the Panther Den. The Quincy High Blue Devils 16, the I almost said Peoria, East Moline Panthers 8. And you're listening to Blue Devil basketball right here on Mecca Sports Co. QHSSports.com. I thought the band was going to give us a little more than for the quarter. So the first quarter is in the books, 16-8. Devils have doubled up the Panthers. Started off with an open three by Tyler Sprick in the left corner for the Devils. A three came right back at us, though, and tied it at 3. Devils threw a couple more baskets out there. It was 7-3. Built up 11-4, 14-7. That's still that 7 points. And then finally got to 8 when it was 16-8. Overall, good quarter in the first for the Blue Devils.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at the defensive pressure, the active hands, the deflections. I mean, that's the Blue Devils' MO this year is, you know, get your hands on the ball, get the rebound, go, get the easy baskets. Instead of setting it up and grinding out a half-court game, use your length and athleticism, you know, get up and down the floor and let the defense give you easy buckets.
Taking care of business. That's right from the defensive side first. UT will get the ball to start the second quarter off. Devils will have Wires, Longcore, Clay. Mark Louthan will be in the ball game, and Cameron Wires starting it off, matching up man-to-man in the road blue. Ball tipped away. Cameron tipped it off the hand of Massey, and it will go back to UT. Massey is in there. Also, Roden still back in the ball game. Terrell. Max Cogan came back in the ball game, and the big guy inside, Octavius Hickman. Not a lot of height, but make a good lineman.
You take the charge.
Driving to the basket. Mark Louthan went up like he was going to block, but he did not foul Roden. That was the nice thing. But Roden did finish. 16-10. First basket of the second quarter. Stick around halftime. We're going to talk a little bit more of the holiday tournaments and some of the fun ones we just can't wait to. And there's a lot of action in the second half of the season that's also looking fun. BL3 just off the right behind the arc. Backs it out now. Got some tough little defense out there, hounding. Terrell on him. Longcore now. Louthan with the screen at the top. Takes it down to the wing, into the corner. Ralph Wires. Wires skips it over to the right corner. Dom Clay's shot, no good. Off balance. He was squared up, but he was fading on the shot right off the bat. And you can hit the fade shot, but it's a lot better to be still on your shot.
Get your feet together, straight up and down, and flick the wrist.
But if you start hitting a few of them fadeaways, I'm not going to say anything to you, that's for sure. That foul was called on Wires. That was Cameron, his first, and the team's first of the second quarter. And UT throws the ball away on that same side. Cameron Wires has just been hounding him and pushing him to that side. This time, last touch by the Panthers.
Definitely an unforced error on that possession because, I mean, his good pass just went right through his hands.
Back to the top of the key, BL3. Bounces it in the right corner. Ralph Wires, just off the front of the iron, but the tip goes over to his brother on the right side. Back out to Longcore for a 23-footer. No good. Devils tried to tip it out. Panthers come away with it. There's Hickman. And Hickman found us napping down here on the corner. Was that Massey, coach, I believe, that made that cut, number 11. He just flew down there and just, we fell asleep for a moment. Dom Clay for 22, good from 3. Clay, a nice shot there.
Once again, he had his feet set and was ready to go.
There we go.
Feet set, butt down.
There you go, Dom, 19-12. We want to see more of that. Roden driving in on Wires, up, down, and the down is Roden to the floor on the baseline, but he will get up to shoot 2.
I was going to say it's about time to get Keyshawn back in. He's had his 2+ minute rest. So, and I see him down there at the bench right now with Camden Brown getting ready to come in.
Ralph Wires whistled on the foul, his first, second team foul for the Devils in the second quarter. Coach Douglas upstanding. And Roden's ball spins out. Keyshawn's back in, and so is Camden. Cameron and Mark Louthan going out. And the Devils coaches tonight in their gray slacks with their blue pullovers. The fashion statements, we always like to keep them up. They do have some nice outfits, by the way. Roden's second one is good. He's got 5 points on the night, leading the way. Well, actually, him and Massey both have 5 of each of the 13. 19-13, Devils still lead, 5:40 left in the first half. Ralph Wires, way out here on the right side, goes to the top of the key. Good job by Keyshawn. Turns, spins, no good. Ball's tipped from one side, almost trying to tip it back to himself. And then the Panthers lose the ball in the far corner right in front of the cheerleaders.
And once again, you have Bradley Longcore down there putting pressure on. Tried to get the ball, and they threw it over his hand, went out of bounds. So
Devils will take it with 5:25 left in the half, up by 6. Have the lead of 8. Longcore on the right side at 24 feet. Goes to the top of the key to Keyshawn Thomas. Keyshawn with Hickman on him. Skips left side to Wires, down to the short corner on the left. Oh, Cameron had a good pass, Camden, and it was a shuffle around the waist, but Thomas wasn't ready for it and lost the handle. Panthers with it. 3-point shot taken by Hickman, no good. Ball hits the floor, and Longcore comes away with it. BL down the right side, almost dropping the ball. Clay was trying to get moved and was losing his balance, almost like his knees are tight or something's tight. Longcore traveled then as he made a break to the basket. Didn't quite see that, but he did get happy, did see a lane to the basket. Inside, 5 minutes left in the half. 19-13, Devils are going to come out in their 1-2-2, kind of matching up here. Wires at the point, Longcore and Clay at the next level. Thomas and Brown deep, although Brown comes all the way out to get Hickman. Both of them will come out to get him because he has taken a couple threes. He hit the first one. Roden off the left side with Wires on him. Now Wires drops back at the top. That's where Hickman's at. Luckily, he didn't have to post him up there. Kogan off the right side. Almost out of bounds on the far side. Shot was taken and no good. Terrell. Here come the Devils. Goes all the way to the basket, then kicks back out. BL3, no good for 3. Inside, strong board by Keyshawn. Keyshawn went back up and was fouled, but still tried to get the ball up on the iron.
Once again, good defense turns into a fast break opportunity. They made the extra pass, wide open look, and then Keyshawn underneath the basket. He's been a man playing amongst boys here.
6 or 7 boards at least so far in the ball game.
First quarter and a half, and he's missed a couple minutes.
Hickman was on the foul. That's his first, and the first on the second quarter for UT. Keyshawn hits the first one. We'll have one more. Devils break 20.
Well, one thing Keyshawn has improved his game this year is his free throw shooting. It looks, when it goes up, you think it's going to go in. Last year was a 50-50 proposition.
I think last game he was 9 for 11 at the charity stripe. He had 24 points. Tonight he has missed those 2, but is 4 for 6. I kind of forgot he missed the 2, didn't you?
Hey, boy, the stroke looks good.
Yes, it does. 21-13, Devils by 8. Inside 4 minutes. And we got a foul over there. We got Longcore and Brown. They're holding up 2 hands, so that's got to be Longcore.
It's his second.
Yep, and team foul number 3. Unless the guy was giving the 4 with 2 2s. I've got 4 the hard way, and so here we go. UT with the basketball. Terrell to the left side. That's Massey. Massey gets stuck on the left side as Longcore, actually right there is Brown and Clay. In the high post to Hickman. He'll kick it back out. Terrell kicked and then ran through. Back to Hickman to the right side. Roden's over there. Dominique trying to make some moves but can't get between Sprick and Brown from the white side. Air ball, that was Terrell. Everybody flying after it, especially Terrell after missing it. And he flew out of bounds, cleaned the floor a little bit down there by the A and the N of the Panthers, but it will be Blue Devil basketball.
Him and Sprick were going at it, boy.
3:22 and counting left. First half action. Devils holding on to that 8-point lead. Battle for the top of the conference. Both teams 3-0. Thomas brings it to the left side. Now a little backdoor cut. Longcore's going to take the shot. Tell you what, I thought Longcore was going to try to bank it, and he'd been better off banking. I think he had the right gauge for banking it.
Halfway in between.
Exactly. UT has the basketball inside 3 now. Into the left corner, Roden. Roden, shot. 3 is no good. Sprick jumped too early in the right side. Terrell waited for him to come down, went up and got the ball. UT has another round at it. UT skips all the way down into this corner, and Coach Pettit has it right. Thomas jumped up and touched the pass coming into the corner.
Another deflection by the Blue Devils on the defensive end. I mean, they've been all over the defensive side.
Well, and then Hughes pulled his hand back, but not in time. The only people who saw that was us because we were right here located in this corner.
Yep.
Well, all of you at home saw that too since it was right here. Now the official turns and sees that, oh my gosh, I might have got caught on the camera. It must be pink night. That's why we had the pink tutu.
Oh, on the
yeah, or something.
Panther?
Because everybody over in the section over there is in pink. The movie of the night when you get home, Pretty in Pink. At the sock hop. At the sock hop. You know, you say that now in sock hop, you have to tell people what is a sock hop. It's a dance, folks, back in the old days. Back when high schools were, and high schools are still good. They are darn good places to have a lot of fun, learn, obviously, but to build friendships in that and come back 50 years later to the reunion. UT with the basketball. Roden has it back in the center circle. 1-2-2 coming from the Devils. Hickman was in the high post. Sprick came down to pick him up. Tyler comes up again on him.
Hickman's more of an outside player than an inside player because, you know, if I got Hickman, I got Sprick guarding him, you know, he should be down the block and making moves.
Oh, exactly. And I don't know why they don't even try to do it. I mean, yes, Tyler's a good defensive player down low, but anytime you've got, you know, what you would consider maybe a guard forward.
Well, when you got like 6'8", about 270, or 6'5", 270 going at 6'3", and, you know, maybe 170, 180.
Nice shot from the baseline. Adrian Hughes hits the three-pointer. He kept working the block and back out to the corner. Well, that's what they did last night with the Lewis girl on Layla Dade. You know, so picture Layla Dade guarding that play. Oh, and inside, I got a push. Wires might have got bailed out then because his momentum was taking him down anyway. He had two guys around him, and they're going to whistle the one, and it will be on Hughes, his second. And the second on, oh, they're going to give it to number 3. Okay, Roden, his first then. It's still the second for the team no matter what. Oh, and a nice shot from the high post, Keyshawn Thomas.
Keyshawn from the elbow. Nobody came out and guarded him, and that's almost like a free throw, and he drilled it.
I'll tell you what, he's been working on and really facing up well. His moves are much better, and he's gotten stronger.
Oh, yeah.
23-16, 1:25 left in the first quarter, or first half. Roden makes a move with a head fake, takes it down on the block, but then kicks it back out. Hughes back into the corner. Shot for 3. Roden no good. Rebound there by Dom Clay. Long outlet. Cameron almost dribbled there. I think he was setting up his feet to dunk, and then the defense was pretty good on him. UT got the ball. Sprick's going to commit a foul. Got in the way, which is stopping the basketball. His first, the fourth of the quarter, so 103. One more, they'll get 2 shots on the double bonus. Yeah, I think Camden, when he got the ball, was timing a dunk instead of just timing to run and lay it up. Now that's what we always said. First of all, dunks are wonderful, but they're only 2 points. And they're only wonderful really at home when you've got the crowd to really go nuts, or a momentum switcher. And you're not going to outbeat the dunk in this gym because that was Jyrell Brock. Hickman goes down to the block. I'll tell you what, when Hickman does go down to the block, he does a nice job of finishing. He's got 5.
Well, he's got to be a good 6'5", 6'6", even though, you know, we don't have any heights listed for United Township.
Devils have the ball with 40 seconds left. Only up by 5. They've had a good quarter and a good half. And now an offensive foul as they ran through the pick. They said he wasn't set and made contact. You know, those are ones too. I know the first that came out years ago, and in college especially, they were whistling that up top all the time. And you kind of kept scratching your head. So since it was an offensive foul, they do not get 2 shots. So 30 seconds left. UT will have the basketball down by 5. Devil will come pick up. Dom will go all the way out to half court. He's got Roden. Once he goes to the middle of the court, Brown will pick him up. Down to 15 seconds. Roden stays on the left side and picks the ball up. Gives it to Hickman, gets it right back. Roden starts to come around the screen. Dom Clay was right there. Now they get the roll on Hickman. Hickman, a nice little bump on the elbow by Thomas. Rebounded by Sprick. Pull up for three-pointer, no. Wire had a nice shot. It was a nice defense, but just a little contact there. Devils got away with one. And we have played a half here at the Panther Den. At East Moline, the score, your Quincy High Blue Devils 23, and the East Moline Panthers 18. What's your thought for the first half, Coach?
Well, I mean, their defense has been, outstanding. Giving up 18 points in the first, 16 minutes. Take that all day long. Offensively, they're not hitting their shots. I mean, Keyshawn's been about their only offensive weapon so far tonight, and he's got 10 of the 23 points. So, we need to get Longcore into the groove. We need to get Camden Brown into the groove. We need to get Ralph into the groove. Wires. Dom's hit a three, I believe, but he hasn't done a whole lot after that either. So, I mean, offensively, we're going to have to gear it up because I think we've gotten good looks tonight. They just haven't gone down.
Indeed, and in fact, it worries me a little bit. We talked to Coach beforehand, and I told him in the pregame show, knock on wood, that this team has been consistently, and with good teams, Chaminade and Webster Groves, scoring over 60 points a ball game, and everybody has been able to contribute, so it hasn't been a worry. Like in the years past, we've had one or two guys that could score, and if they weren't scoring, we could look bad. We could still win because of our defense, but it would be a little bit more of a challenge. Tonight is one of those nights where he better get another 37 up there in the second half, so I'm not eating my words.
Well, it's one of those things where, they've gotten good looks. They just haven't gone down. BL3's had, he's probably 0 for 4 from the three-point line. I don't think he's made one yet, has he?
He has not made a three-pointer
yet. He's had a couple of, drives to the basket where he had, a couple of finger rolls in there, didn't go in. Hopefully they come out the second half and there's not a lid on the basket like there was on the first half.
One thing I haven't seen, Coach, in this first half was I have not seen the Devils. They've come out a couple times in their three-quarter court, but just briefly, and it's just been more or less just to stop the ball and go from there.
Yep.
I'd like to see them get a little more aggressive. All the way up three-quarter court and just go after the ball.
Well, three-quarter court or, do the man, full court, run and jump trap, because their rotations are really good on the defensive end. And, if it hasn't been for, the big guy for them, with the three and then the late drive, they'd have probably held them to under a point per minute, which, in high school basketball is very, very good.
Indeed. Like I said, nothing wrong with the defense out here. Even when they've gotten beaten back doors, they haven't been there, but at least Don Clay's been there to try to make the play.
Yeah.
But they've got to get on the offensive end. And we've had a few, as we've mentioned, and we've lost a couple handles on the ball. We've had ones roll off the rim, too. Not as many as we've seen before.
Yeah.
Girls that one night, I think we saw a bunch of them roll out as well. But so we've gotten through one half. We're down 23, or we're up 23 to 18. And so we'll take a halftime break right here and tune up the I'm waiting for the band. Although the band looked like they went home at halftime.
Yeah, I think they're gone.
They weren't even going to give us a show. I'm going to tell both our bands in Quincy, I'm so glad they stick around for the ball game, and we hear them rocking throughout, especially when they do a nice job of filling in for us. They're our house band when we're there, and so and our one we've got right to our right, so we can just turn the camera and let them rock. So.
Well, while we're here, we got a couple of minutes. Let you fans know with, all of the teams that we are covering this year. What you need to do is you need to go to YouTube. Go ahead and type in Mecca Sports Code. It'll pop up right there. Please subscribe. Please like. And then if you want to know where we're going to be, at any given day, because we're going a lot of different places this year, go ahead and hit the little bell. Ring the bell is what they call it. And then you will get notifications of where we're going to be, what games we're going to do, and all that kind of stuff. So please subscribe. That's how we get paid. So subscribe with YouTube, and then you can always go to, meccasports.com, meccasportsco.com, and you can go there. I loved the other night when I went to YouTube, up at my house with my 75-inch TV and sat there and watched I think it was Notre Dame ladies play, that night. And, heck, if you can't make it out to the game, turn on your TV and go to YouTube.
Indeed, and of course Facebook as well. You can go out there and say hi. A lot of times we'll put messages out there when games are coming that day. We won't get too far ahead of you, so you're not out there confused that, well, they're going to be playing in 3 days. You can still find that on the website anytime you need to. It's on the schedules out there, and go from there. So a lot of games coming up. Tomorrow night, of course, we got the game that, and again, everybody still loves this game. We've had some good ones over the years, and it's the Quincy High will be traveling over to 10th and Jackson. That's the pit, baby, and it'll be a good matchup there.
They'll be hanging out the rafters over at the pit tomorrow night.
Devils have been bringing their squad. The Raiders have played some pretty good ball. The 2 games they have lost have been a 2-point loss to Sacred Heart and a 2-point overtime loss to the Macomb Bombers. So that was in the same weekend, but then came right back with 2 victories against Southeastern and Hannibal. Tonight they are up at Camp Point Central after beating Palmyra the other night. That was a doubleheader victory for the ND Raiders, as the Lady Raiders won the first game, followed up by the Raiders. Aiden Gittenbacher in that one had 20 points, 5 3-pointers, and he had 5 for 6 from the free throw line. So I would imagine for the Blue Devils, they're going to have to watch out and find out where Aiden's at. But the Raiders are going about 9 deep right now. And when they're rotating them in, they rotate them in fast. You've got Alex Dance out there, the head coach from the Blue Devil girls. His son is over playing for the Raiders. He runs the offense out there. Aiden Clauser's athletic ability and be able to get up and down the floor is doing a great job. Gittenbacher's out there. I don't have my Raider book tonight, but they bring in Connor Young, Jace Allensworth, the sophomores in that starting lineup. Yep.
Very good ball.
And then also didn't see Bo F. Tank the other night. He also comes into that lineup. Those are both old neighbors of mine, but we never really had the basket up as much as all the kids in the neighborhood seem to be playing golf, and all on both teams too. Then you got Jackson Meyer, the coach's son, inside, and he became quite a physical specimen over the last couple of years with football. I asked him the other night if he was going to go on and try to play for somebody. He is going to John Wood, but was just planning on just being a student. He's got some things in mind there. I thought he could. He's got some opportunities to play football. The schools we've got now, you've got. Well, he would not fit the sprint football team. He's too big. But Quincy University, Culver Stockton, but he's not going to do that, and that's fine. And I said, John Wood, hey, bring him in as an enforcer, and just let him bang for a couple minutes, and then put your guy back in, let him have the offense. But by the way, John Wood, I believe they have a game Sunday. Jefferson College, I believe. I think the girls play at 1 o'clock. They're 4-7 right now. The boys follow up at 3 o'clock. And if I remember right, they're 5-5. And then on the other side of town, also 4-7, is the Lady Hawks. I don't know what they did last night. They had an exhibition game at Bradley. And then they come around and play on, they've got a Sunday game as well. I think it's a 2 o'clock game. Don't quote me on that. Please look it up. And then the Hawks, I believe, are 5-5 right now. So everybody's pretty well around the same records, boys and girls, in the college ranks. As we mentioned, the Lady Raiders with their victory the other night got to 10-1, and the Raiders got to 5-2. And then the Blue Devil girls, with that loss last night, fell to 9-3.
Well, I look at their 3 losses, though. You have, East Moline, I'll tell you what, they'll probably be in the top 10, and the Blue Devil girls will probably flip-flop, as far as the rankings. But, you look at the Blue Devil boys, they're ranked 3rd in the state. You look at the Lady Raiders, I believe they're 7th in the state.
I believe you're right there, and I think Central Southeastern is 8th, and they'll be facing each other in their brackets.
Yeah.
And they'll be facing each other Monday at the pit.
Well, yeah, and you'll be there. I won't be, but you'll be there.
That would be a good ball game. And, of course, we talk about Eric Horn and Matt Long, 2 coaches who have been around a long time in both their programs. They've established themselves, and they're pretty high up on the win list as well. And
very, very, very successful programs in 1A, and, the girls now are in 3A, so or are they 2A?
Who's that?
The Lady Raiders.
They moved to 3A this year.
They moved to 3A because of their success in 2A.
Yes.
So
Coach did talk about that early in the season. We hadn't really talked about it since, But that first week was talking about we're going to be, I don't think he has any worry about that. They've worked up the ranks. Of course, when they worked up the ranks before, we had some Gingerbacher girls, Jordan Ferguson, her sisters, and a load for a number of years there. And again, of all 4 programs in Quincy, obviously brought home the most medals. And you speaking of wins, another guy from the area just got his 650th win, 371 of those at Centralia, and that's Lee Bennett. Yep. Of course, he is down there, a Pittsfield native.
We were down there a couple years ago with the Blue Devils. That's a heck of a gymnasium down there.
Yeah. And we should have really went by and saw that other gym that's now the original gym that's at church. I saw somebody had posted that the other day, and it wasn't in the one that we're in with all the best gyms in the state.
Well, yeah, with the
they got the 100. How many? They're trying 150 gyms, the best 150 gyms in the state of Illinois.
Yep.
Vincent Johnson on that. But congratulations to Lee Bennett on his success. And I just still remember that interview we had him up at the shootout a couple years ago. You know, he's a slow-talking, country boy, and usually quick answers. And I asked him the first question, and about 8 minutes later, I got it back. I just love you,
Yeah,
Lee.
well, I tell you what. Well, he started up there. I think his first head coaching job was up in Dakota, up by where I at school, and then went down to Alton, and then been in Centralia ever since.
Done a great job. Second half is ready to start. The Blue Devils have the basketball. Wires over to Brown, back to the top of the key. That's Thomas. Thomas looked. He goes inside, low block to Brown. Brown's going to make a nice spin move, start, and almost got a three-pointer, but it wouldn't have been one because they said on the floor and on the move. And our first foul of the second half will go against Terrell. For Terrell to be his second foul.
And I like Camden down there when he's got a 6'2" guy on him. Go ahead and post him up and go up strong.
He's got the quickness. As we mentioned, the lineup for the second half. Same as the game. Wires along with Sprick, Brown, Longcore, and Thomas. On the other side in the lane, Terrell guarding Brown right now. And Terrell's going to get a second foul on the floor again. So he's working him, but he's working him into a foul trouble situation. Terrell now with 3 fouls, 2 now already in the first 26 seconds of the quarter.
I was going to say 2 quick ones. The Blue Devils can get to the foul line. Hey, we're a very good foul shooting team.
Tyler Horvath will come in. Terrell will go out. So him, Massey, Hickman, Roden, and Colgan right now in there for UT. Here's the out-of-bounds play. Down on the left block. Thomas, turnaround. Bumped a little bit there by Horvath. Hit the front of the iron. Rebounded by UT. Heading the other way. 23-18. That's the way we ended the first half. Roden starts to make a move into the left corner. Quickly back out to Roden. Top of the key is Hickman. He'll come over and try to set a screen. Now he'll run through.
I'll tell you what, this is a good-looking group of sophomores for United Township.
Inside Hickman. Hickman with a great spin move in the middle to the right side. Hickman's got some quickness for a big kid.
Oh, yeah. Got good feet, good hands.
23-20. Devils lead cut to 3. Right side it goes to BL3. Cutting through was Wires. He wasn't there. Now Sprick. Sprick tried to be a little lazy with it. Hickman knocked it away, but Sprick got it right back. Back to BL3. Messing with Horvath a little through the legs a couple times. To the right side. Thomas is now on the right wing. Brown is inside trying to post up Massey. That's what we're looking for. Now Brown left when it came to his side. Brown on the roll. Brown kicks it out to the right corner. Keyshawn Thomas for 3. Good. Keyshawn. 3-pointer from the right corner.
If he adds that to his offensive game,
he's a load and a half. We know he can shoot. We talked about his free throw. He's hit one, hits him from the top. He was set up in the right corner just waiting for that pass. And if Brown's going to work inside, posting up, we've got a load there. Horvath dropped the ball, picked it up, and got it with it. Okay. On the right side, Roden with the ball being hounded by Wires and Sprick. Back to the top. Horvath, he doesn't want it. He'll go back to Roden. Inside 6 minutes in the third quarter, 6-point lead for the Devils. Hickman with a nice spin move. Hickman picks it up, misses. Air ball, but the air ball is caught by Roden, thrown out to the right corner. Missed. Inside. Hickman almost got it. Tracking it down is Thomas. Another rebound for Keyshawn.
Keyshawn took it away from him.
Wow, that was interesting. Camden lost the hand on the ball, so he tipped it to Keyshawn, and all he did was basically square up. And they called him for an offensive foul. Well, you just got to move beyond it. Keyshawn second. First one for the Devils of the second half, or the third quarter, we should say, since we are into the quarter situation. Devils back on defense. Same lineup. First 3 minutes of the quarter. Left side, Horvath. Back out to Hickman. Brown guards him. A little more quickness on this situation here. Oh, Brown almost got it. You know, Hickman is almost leaning with an extra arm or an extra shoulder every time he makes a move. To the right side to Roden. He's been picked up by Wires. Pushes him to the corner. Pushes him to the side. Oh, great job of pushing him, and then the pass is stolen by Brown. Brown to Wires. And Wires scores, and flying down. They're going to try to wave that off.
Well, I thought Keyshawn got pushed in the back, and then he went up to get the rim, to get the rim before he fell down.
I agree with you there. Basically, Wires was going up with a finger roll. He was going to score. He got fouled by Hickman.
Oh, they're not counting the
But they're going to call it off now. Foul on Hickman.
Terrible call.
I would have to agree with you. That is when you don't have a full crew working together with three guys. That's one guy saying, here's what I saw. That's his second foul, by the way.
But then the other guys aren't looking where they're supposed to be looking.
Exactly. And the ball was already left the hand, too.
Yep.
The ball had left the hand on Wires. So that one should have been good, and we should have
Well, I think the ball was already through the basket
when the foul happened.
When Keyshawn touched the rim. You know what I mean? It didn't affect the ball either way. And he got pushed in the middle of the back, going up for the rebound.
And it went in. 27-20, though. 4:44 left in the third quarter. Devils put a little more pressure out, but they try to put pressure, and then that Roden go right through them. Luckily, Thomas
Keyshawn with another rebound.
With the defense, the rebound, and the outlet. Brown into the left, back out to Sprick, back to the top. Keyshawn will take a three. Oh, it rolls in and out. That was a good-looking shot, too. Touched about every part of the rim. And then on the outlet pass, Wires all over his numero counterpart. That's number 3, Roden, and Roden touches it last.
Once again, the defensive pressure forces another turnover by United Township.
I'd like to see even more of it right now. Keep cranking this thing up on defense because you wear these guys out, and once they get behind, too, they got to work even harder to come back.
I don't think United Township's done very much substituting at all in this game.
And Wires drives all the way down to the block, bodies up against the big Octavius Hickman, and scores. Devils have scored 6 straight points and now lead by 9.
I thought Camden almost was going to get that one.
Down the left side, into the left corner. They bounce it in, and there's Tyler Sprick taking the ball away. It'll be a jump ball. Into the ball game was Tucker Speckman. Speckman not a very strong physical specimen at all. Ball went in there, and Tyler grabbed a hold. It will be a jump ball.
Once again, you have senior strength versus sophomore strength.
Indeed. And Tyler has worked hard the last couple of years for that strength.
Oh, yeah.
Came in a roll, and each year I think he's built his confidence up, and we've seen it out there. And then you've seen his shooting as well. He has done a nice job.
He does those little things out there on the floor. There's a loose ball on the floor. He's diving for it. I don't know who's taking charges this year, but if he's not leading the team in charge taking, he's really close to it. And he'll hit the big shot. And he's got a good mid-range game, too, to work. He'll catch the ball in the wing, take 2 dribbles to the elbow, rise up, and make that little 17-foot shot.
Yeah, we've been glad to see him step up in the Jeremiah role, which is taking the offensive fouls. That year, Jeremiah Talton was a senior. He was taking 1 or 2 a game, it seemed like, pretty regularly.
He ended up with, I think, 33 for the season, and the next closest guy was 5. Something of that nature. But, Jeremiah had that keen sense of, okay, I'm going to take a charge on this one. Next time down, I'm going to block it. Next time down, block it. Then next time, take a charge, take a charge. He had that keen sense of what he should do, when the play was unfolding.
And, of course, he's down at Lindenwood right now playing for the Lions. I think getting 7 or 8 points a game. I want to say he started half the games he's played this year, but he's in all of them. UT gets the ball into the basket. They get it to Hickman out in the corner. Hickman got nowhere. Thomas had him shut down, so the ball comes back out to the left wing at 28 feet.
Keyshawn got in his grill that time.
Roden with the basketball. Roden stepped underneath and took a 16-footer, no good. One of the Devils went down. That was Tyler Sprick. And between Hickman and Speckman, they're going to call it on Speckman. Nope, they're going to call it on Hickman. Okay. That's his third foul, 2 in this half. Fourth one in this quarter with 3:33 left in the third.
Let's be aggressive, take the ball to the hoop. There we go. Call
Oh,
foul.
and a great job in there. Thomas with a pass from the top of the key. Clay with the basket, and like Coach, you heard from Coach, he got smacked on the hand. 31-20, Devils have opened up a 11-point lead.
Good strong finish by Dom.
Roden has the ball out there, 40 feet from the basket. Ralph Wires on him. Tips at the ball and then pulls his hands back. Still on him. Skipped over to the left side. That's Massey. Massey had nowhere to go with it. Now they go back into the 1-2-2. Massey was there, kicks out into the right corner. Three-pointer scoops in and out. And when I mean scoops in and out, it's scooped in and scooped out the other side. Hustling for the ball on the far side was Loncourt and Thomas. Ball out of bounds. It will be Panthers basketball. 2:51 left in the third.
Well, the Blue Devils on about an 8-0 run. It was a 23-20 at one time. Now it's 31.
23, yes, it was 23-20. Now 8 straight. First bucket of the quarter, the half, was by UT. 15-footer, pull up, air ball. Rebounded by Clay. Long outlet pass left side. And that one's going to be easy. Ralph looked like he got caught in between which way he wanted to go. Fake left, fake right, go around, and the defense was there.
Sometimes it's better just to pull up for that little 7-foot bank shot off of the glass, go straight up and down, and then, go back with 2 points and not another foul.
That was exactly on that one, Coach, as it's the second foul on the Devils, who will come out in the 1-2-2 three-quarter court. And it was just one of those where it was left, right, and he goes, you know what, I give up. I'm just going to run into you. And so left corner, three-pointer, no good by UT. Weak side rebound. And it was Dominic Roden inside. He was squeezed in there by Clay and Sprick. It will be Sprick on the foul for Tyler, his second. First one in the second half. Third for the team. Devils have 3. UT has 4. Ralph's going to get a break with 2:20 left in the third quarter. 31-20, Devils with a lead. Inbound into the right side. Colgan brings it out. Back down to Roden. Roden drove baseline. Missed the shot. Kicked out. There was a good tip out to the corner. Thomas got the rebound. BL3. And BL3 was just a smooth move. Came in, did that little finger roll. And once you beat the guy and put the body between him and the ball, and then do the little button finger roll, you're not going to get to him.
Well, and I tell you what, Keyshawn with another rebound. He's got to be in double digits now.
No doubt about it.
But what I saw was the great outlet pass. Great vision, looking up floor once he gets the rebound. And, the finish by BL3.
Went from the right corner in the far end, actually our left corner from where we're at, all the way down here to the right side. So it went caddy corner on the zip line. And we got a baseline cut there. Good job on the baseline cut. It looked like Horvath. No, it was actually Colgan. He did the reverse.
Well, and that's one thing I was always taught, that you got to see the ball and your man at the same time. A couple times on these backdoor cuts, the Blue Devils aren't seeing the ball, to get the deflection on it.
Got to have that feel. I mean, you just and the talking. That's the key with talking on defense.
Well, and then the weak side's got to step up too. I mean, if you got a backdoor cut coming from the right baseline, who's ever on the left baseline, the left corner, should be underneath the basket to step out so they don't get to the rack.
1 out of 2 for Max Colgan at the free throw line. That broke the Devils' 10-point run. Devils still lead by 12. Minute 30 left in the quarter. Left side, Tyler Sprick at 40 feet, back to the top of the key. That's Thomas. He goes to Wires. That's Cameron. Cameron will find Tyler Sprick on the left side. Oh, another roll in and roll out.
Keyshawn got his hand on the rebound.
Tipped it long enough for Dom Clay to get it. Devils have another opportunity. Ooh, interesting between the legs there. Good athletic move by Cameron Wires. Lobs
Good
inside.
pass.
Thomas tips it to himself. Missed the shot. Gets another rebound. And from behind, Roden thought he blocked the shot, but you can't block the shot from behind as a guard when you climb up the back.
Now when you're 6'1" going up against 6'6", and I mean, Keyshawn's been strong all night.
2 rebounds on that one. That was the first foul Oh, the 5th foul. We still have 1 minute and 5 seconds left, so both teams have 5 fouls. And Keyshawn will go to the line to shoot 2. Keyshawn on the night right now 5 for 7. He was 4 for 6 before hitting that one. The only ones he missed was the second 2, and he missed both of them, which
I don't remember, but
I don't either.
If you say it happened, it happened.
Well, that's what I said. I thought, well, maybe sometimes, when you think they got fouled shooting, and then they say, no, it wasn't, and you already had them down, I'm going to have to double check that because I think they just barely rolled out because I believe he did miss them, and I'm going to stick with that.
Everything he's shot after that hadn't even hit the rim.
Not at all. 2 for 2 on the free throws there. 35-21. Devils lead by 14. 1 minute left in the third quarter. UT has the basketball. Keyshawn playing out there at the point on defense.
Look at that defense.
Roden had a heck of a time. He lost the ball, and every one of the Devils was on it. Oh, and a great pass there. Longcourt comes down, gets halfway down the lane, does a little shuffle pass with his right hand. Keyshawn's down in the block with the foul. Longcourt gets the assist. Thomas gets the basket. That was pretty there. And there wasn't anything really silly about it or, showboat. It was just a great pass.
Oh, yeah.
Got a foul there on the Devils. I believe that's the third one on Cameron Wires. He's got 2 in this half. And we're shooting 2 shots the last 37.0.
And if my count is right, this will be the Panthers have 3 points here in the third quarter. And there's point number 4.
And you're right, Coach. And they scored the first 2 points of the quarter. And then the Devils got on their little 10-point run.
Yep.
Put another little 4-point run in there after the basket. And a nice quarter.
A dominating defensive performance by the Blue Devils here in the third.
And it translated over to offense as well. Both free throws are good, so 37-23. 3 points by Colgan on the free throw line. The other basket was by Hickman to start the quarter off. Devils with 27 seconds looking to take the last shot. I'm sure they'll take one that's point blank. Thomas, left side. Dom Clay, now we got a 2-guard front. Clay, though, breaks away. Longcourt's going to keep it on the right side near half court, down to 12 seconds.
Pick and roll.
Starts the screen there. Gets to the elbow. Kicks it to Sprick. Sprick, oh, and he went up for the shot and lost the handle of the ball. Cameron Wires was trying to get to the ball and tip it away or grab it.
That's going to cost us 2 points there.
Indeed.
They'll go the other way and shoot 2 free throws.
So possibly 4 points or 5. And for Wires, that's his 4th foul, all in the second half, or 3 in the second half, excuse me.
Not a good foul 50 feet from the basket.
And if we're going to the other basket, you're talking, what's 3/4 of 84? Somewhere in that.
I don't know.
I'm just throwing
my math days are over.
I was throwing that to the audience there. Let them sit at home and figure that one out. Missed the first free throw.
If you have an answer, go ahead and shoot us a text.
There you go. Math with Mecca. Second one is good. Massey hits. 3.4. Inbounds. Into the corner. Dom Clay. Shot. Oh, just off the iron. Went to the other side. And so after 3 quarters, the Quincy High Blue Devils 37. United Township Panthers 24. And this is Blue Devil basketball. Western Big Six style on MegaSportsCode.com. Coach, a good third quarter there for the Devils. Devils come out and score 14, only give up 6 in the quarter. Still could have had a few more points too, but the defense got out there, put the pressure on, the offense came from the other side.
Yeah, and you know that's the Blue Devil recipe for success is, you know, getting in the passing lanes, getting the deflections, you know, their defensive rebound. I can't remember the last time or if United Township has an offensive rebound tonight.
Maybe that air ball right down there on that one, or nobody else was going for it.
But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's been one and done.
Devils get the ball in the fourth quarter, up 37-24. Jeff Wellman, Dave Pettit with you here on MeccaSportsCo.com. Ralph Wires drives in. Ralph tried to do a wraparound there, but the problem was there was 3 Panthers in the way. And on the other end, Camden Brown does a great job of knocking the ball away. So it will be Panther ball into their own basket. Devils look like they're matching up man-to-man on the out-of-bounds play. Devils have Wires, Sprick, Thomas, Brown, and Loncourt in the lineup starting the fourth quarter. Hickman.
Starting fiver back in.
Indeed. Hickman, Roden still in there along with Terrell. He got in foul trouble. Massey, good move there by Hickman, missed the shot. Shot missed again. Thomas gets the rebound. Ball stolen there by Roden, though, in the transition. UT has the ball again. Who's my other player that I'm missing out there? Roden, Massey, Hickman. He's going to shoot. Terrell. And we'll check in a second here as the Devils commit the first foul of the fourth quarter. Tyler Sprick looks like his third.
Once again, even though the Blue Devils had a very, very good third quarter, this game is not out of reach, you know, of United Township. I mean, make a couple of free throws here, you're down to 11-point game with 7 minutes to go.
And Massey does make the first one.
And the big fella does help a lot in there, Hickman, because he was out the last, 3 minutes of the third quarter, you know, with his third foul. He's in the ball game now. He's a force underneath.
Missed the second one. Adrian Hughes, the other player for them, number 5. Wires kicks it out. Dom Clay, 21-footer. Good from 3. Clay hits it from just off the high post on the right side.
Once again, feet set, butt down, ready to shoot. He nailed it.
Clay, his second 3. He's got 8 in the contest tonight.
That was better help on the weak side by Strick, but they still put it in.
Was that Massey, number 11, that made that one, Coach?
I believe so.
I know he took a break there, as I was just going to talk about how well we're doing. 40-27, 6:20 left in the ball game. Devils have the ball. Clay, top of the key, brings it to the right side to Sprick. He'll pass the ball up. It quickly gets to the left wing. Ralph Wires into the high post. Keyshawn Thomas. Ooh, a little hard on the shot there. I don't know if it was a little rush, but definitely had a little too much juice on it. And with 6 minutes left, UT's got it in their half-court set. Massey tried to go down, slipped, went inside with a pass. Hickman missed it. Hickman missed the tip. And last touched by UT, it be Blue Devil basketball. Hughes going to go out now. Coming back into the ball game is Max Colgan for United Township.
And while we started the fourth quarter here, we're getting BL3 a little bit of a break on the bench, so he's been out for a couple minutes. Ooh, bad pass.
Wires was passing the ball to Tyler as he was looking over and talking to Coach. And actually, he was a little surprised when the ball came towards his way. He almost jumped away from it. Luckily, missed basket on the side for the Panthers. Coach wants to talk about it real quick. It's just one of those, when you look, like the old zig and zag. Basically, Ralph said it's my fault. He looked over, started to pass the ball before he really saw if Tyler was looking or not, and Tyler just happened to be glancing over at Coach as Coach was breaking down something for him. So 5:33 left, Coach. We got a 13-point lead, 40-27. I like personally keeping the pressure on like we did to get that lead in the third quarter.
Yeah, well, definitely. You know, we got to keep doing what we do, you know, get after it on the defensive end, you know, make sure that they're one and done. They've gotten a couple offensive rebounds here in the start of this fourth quarter, so we're going to have to shore that up a little bit.
Hickman on the one was they'll give him a rebound, but it was a slap. It was a tip, and it wasn't a very good one or a soft one. The board shook a little bit as well. 5:30 left in the ball game. Devils walk it up. At the near side here on our screen. Brown back to the top to Sprick. He'll bring it to the right elbow, then pass it out to Wires. Wires moves it around. Brown to Clay. Back to the top. Good ball movement from the Devils. I'm sure that's exactly what Coach wanted to see. Let's get back to our fundamentals. Left side skips all the way to the right corner. Camden Brown, he's going to come back out to the 45. The shot is partially blocked by Dominic.
That was a foul.
Roden. And then Roden fields it all the way up his crazy bone on his left side. And then last touching that was Colgan. So Tyler Sprick will trigger for the Devils. Flashing to the weak side. There's Thomas. Oh my gosh, how did they let him be so wide open? Keyshawn comes from the right upper post, high post, and he just comes down to the low post on the left side, and Sprick hits him. Well designed and well executed. Devils up by 15, 42-27. Hickman has it on the left side. Oh, look at Thomas play defense.
Great hedge.
That's a great job by Thomas against the guard. Terrell was stuck and got pushed all the way almost back to half court. Roden skips it over to the left side. Terrell was there, but Wires was there just as quick. Octavius Hickman will get it, the big center. And it looks like the Devils must on the backside. A little contact. They called on Dom Clay. You know, this is one thing, Coach, I must say. Now, when there's physical play, there's physical play. That's the second foul on Dom. Second foul for the Devils. But when guys turn and say, what? You know, that's when you know you're wondering, you know.
What's a foul and what ain't?
Yeah, really it is.
No consistency with, you know, the guys in black and white tonight.
And it hasn't been a horrible game by any means. It hasn't been called or anything like that. We're not mentioning that. But when a player, most of the players know when they foul, when they don't. They know when they can get away with stuff. But in this one, a couple times tonight, when guys have said, what? You know, kind of like, I'm confused. Can you please explain to me? The nice thing is the Devils bounce back and they really move on.
Well, they've adjusted to how the game's been called. Because I think we had a different call the first half than we do the second.
See, oh, I hate that too.
You know, it's one of those things where, well, Coach Lake used to always say, you know, we'd come out hard, we'd be, you know, slapping and whatever to start with, and then he always used to say the first team that adjusts, it's a 6-point differential.
Yes, indeed. I remember that quite well. Nice spin with there by Massey. Massey put it up in the glass. He had enough juice on that ball to get up and spin over the rim. Pick it up at half court will be Massey. He'll get Ralph Wires into the high post. It goes to Keyshawn Thomas. Keyshawn has Hickman on him. Hickman keeps pushing him back. Oh, a nice catch there by Ralph Wires for it went in the backcourt. Ralph has Massey come out on him. A little more aggressive defense from UT.
He's going to say, take care of the basketball, fellas.
Ralph goes in. Ralph goes in and hangs, and he just hangs and holds that ball back. Hickman can't get it, and Ralph lays it in. He's got 5 points now.
Well, Hickman's got 3. He didn't want to pick up number 4.
And Ralph has gotten stronger. We talked about all of them.
Yeah.
Thomas, Loncourt, Ralph, especially that game where Ralph and Loncourt had to play some solid D. That was a nice move there by Roden. Roden got Thomas up off the ground, laid it in after he went flying by. 44-31. Brown inside. Camden got a little bit of a break there because he forced that ball. He made a turn. There was some hanging on him.
Well, I still like, you know, with the 6'5" Camden Brown down there on the block with 6'1" or 6'2" guarding you. You know, he's going to win that battle probably 3 out of every 4 times.
Roden gets whistled for his 3rd foul. And we get into the 4th quarter. It's the first foul against UT. Devils have 2. Speaking of 2, that's what Camden will get to shoot. A rarity there. Camden Brown. I don't think I have my last stats updated on that, but Brown's free throw shooting was quite impressive.
Well, the Blue Devils as a team shoot very well from the free throw line.
25 for 31 unofficially. Hits the second free throw, hits 1 of 2. 45-31, Devils up by 14, approaching 3 minutes left. Ball went down to the short corner. Bringing it out was Massey. He brought it right into Mark Louthan, who came in, and Tyler Sprick. They both blocked the shot. Sprick goes inside to Brown. Brown, spin move. Brown up quick, count it. And he was too quick for Hickman to come over. Hickman did do a nice job of coming over, but it was too late. Brown had already let go of it, and he's going to have a chance at the 3-point play. And for Hickman, his 4th foul. One more, and he's gone. Camden, another nice move. Again, as we mentioned, his quickness got him on that one. He beat everybody up there. got there a little late. And he connects on the and one. That's the three-point play. 48-31, 3:11 left. If you like that band. Substitutions. Hickman's going to stay in the game. So it is.
Well, it's getting down to the point, 3 minutes to go. If you're going to make a run, you need the big fella in there.
There's no doubt about that. Roden has the ball to the left side to Terrell. Terrell brings it back to the middle. He used Hickman. Hickman actually did a pulling guard move on Longcor on that one. He was moving on the move. Also, Horvath came back into the ball game. Dropping the ball, Roden has it. Roden got into traffic in the paint. Little bump there, kind of a touch there, but we'll let him go. For Ralph Wires, his third. A lot of 3 fouls tonight. And it's the third for the Devils in the fourth quarter. Baseline for Roden to trigger it. 4 across the baseline, 2 on the post, 2 in the corner. Kogan went out into the corner, got the ball, and then stopped, almost trapped in the corner. Comes back to the top. Hickman's out there. Hickman has Louthan on him. Mark doing a good job working side to side. Cutting to the basket, and a good job there. Isaiah Talton came in the game, just blocked the shot, and then got the board after it. Lineup right now is Ralph Wires, BL3, Mark Louthan, Camden Brown, and Isaiah Talton. Talton's really been showing a lot of confidence, out with his game right now. Longcor pulls up, 14-footer, good, nothing but net. Boy, that was just so smooth how Bradley set that up.
That's got to be his first point since the second quarter, correct?
He had one in the third. He had one in the first, one in the third, and one in the fourth. And now Camden Brown gets the steal on the bad pass. And a double dribble when he got to half court. He got called for the double dribble. Then did he get a technical?
Yeah.
Like Terry said, say hi to my favorite cyclist. Hey, nice to meet you.
And we just had the tennis coach from UT stop by. He stopped by earlier on, asked if I knew Mike Terry. I said, I have no idea who you're talking about. Mike Terry, of course, teaches at John Wood Community College. He's the tennis coach, boys and girls, for the Quincy High programs. So it was a technical, was it, Coach?
Yep.
So Camden didn't like it, and I take it as I was looking down, did he kind of pound the ball down a little bit, or?
I think you got to push the kid that stopped him from going, so.
Now, they got number 3 up, but I thought, well, that's right, he didn't foul. That was just the technical. So he had traveled before that, or double dribbled to make it official.
Yep.
All right, so one there. Give it back to UT. A no-no to Camden for that. And again, nice.
I don't know if they're going to hit their 60 tonight.
Yeah, we're getting close, though, Coach. That's all I needed after the first half. After getting it to half at 23, we were 7 off the mark. So
well, I tell you what, you look at what they've done in the second half. They've given up 12 points in the second half. To this East Moline United Township team.
And that's more important. And then on the side of scoring, we usually, if you're going to get 7 or 60, you got to get 30. Well, we've got 27.
Yep.
And so this second half has been a much better offensive night. But that goes to show you, when we're going to have slow moments on the offense, the defense will keep us rolling.
Yep, the defense will, keep us in games. You know what I mean? Well, and I've always said defense wins championships. So, and I love what I'm seeing out of the Blue Devils, this whole year so far.
Indeed we are. And it's early. This is game number 9, folks.
Well, and the competition is probably going to get a little stiffer, too. You know what I mean? So if they keep hanging their hat on the defensive end like they have been, they will be in every game they play.
1:50 left of this game. Devils lead 50-32. UT will have the basketball as we come out of the timeout. We've got both Wires out there along with Mark Louthan, BL3, and Isaiah Talton. Different lineup, gets to run a little bit here. A little more energy in this one. Oh, and a block shot by Mark Louthan. Hickman went up with Talton guarding him so well, and Mark flew by and blocked the shot from the side. And he recovered the ball. Nice job, Mark. Devils have the basketball now. In the half-court set. Well, one dribble, don't do that again. Pulling up, now kicks it outside to Talton. Talton fires up a 3, no good. Hickman jumps up and gets it. And Dominic Roden went down on that one. They waited. He was at the free throw line, And it looks like he might have got popped accidentally in the chin or the tooth. He might be a little blood there. Not telling him to go, so I guess you can't see any, but he laid there until the rebound was secured by UT.
Basketball is not a physical game, though.
No way. And sub here. Hughes will come back to the ball game with Roden in the backcourt. Also Terrell, Hickman, and Horvath are on the front court. Terrell across the left side, approaching 1 minute. Hickman has it and just says, get out of the way, I'm taking it out to the point. Louthan followed him up to the point. Ball goes into the right corner. Roden does a nice job of getting the defense up in the air. Shots missed. Mark Louthan with a nice rebound and an outlet to Ralph Wires. Ralph will get the trailer, his brother, to the right side and into the right wing. That's Isaiah Talton. And Talton, the ball, all of a sudden, Terrell was taken off with it. That's because he grabbed a hold of his arm and took the ball away. So Terrell on the foul. That's his fourth. He had a couple fouls. Well, I guess they were just at the start of the half, and they got him out of the ball game. That's the third one on the UT Panthers. Cameron starts to drive in the paint, decides to come back out. Pick the ball up, gets it to Ralph. Ralph working against Terrell. Out to Longcore. Devils are just trying to use the clock at this stage. BL3. And BL3 went in, got bumped. Did a little step back for the shot and was called for traveling after the contact. I guess with 26.9, you move on. BL made a nice move to the hole, but on a mid-step, he got checked. Oh, and there it was. Talton tried to take the Jeremiah, and he didn't fall down, and he didn't get any contact from Roden, and Roden made the layup. He's been their consistent scorer along with Massey in the ball game. Hickman got a few scores, the big kid. Ball was kicked by Ralph Wires with 5.2 seconds left as it was going down to the corner where Cameron Wires had gotten it. Roden's the one that had kicked it. Ralph gets the ball in. A little push there with his numeral counterpart, and the buzzer is right there. So a good game on the road. Got away from the non-conference game, Chaminade and Webster Groves, and pulled out a great victory out here on the road, 50-34 against East Moline.
Well, the thing that, you take out from this, 32 minutes of basketball, and they gave up 34 points. If you keep giving up, a little over 1 point per minute, you're going to win a ton of basketball games. Second thing I take away from this is Keyshawn, was a man playing amongst boys tonight, and he had a very, very good game. But also, we did this with Bradley Longcore scoring 6 points only, probably had 3 or 4 turnovers, maybe a couple 3 assists. Not one of his better ball games, but yeah, we still come out, with a 16-point victory.
Boy, 34 points. That's just a nice performance there. 8 after one quarter, 18 at half, only 6 in the third quarter. That was the key, and then 10 in the fourth to round that one off.
Well, and that 6 in the fourth quarter, 3 of them were in the last, 20 seconds with free throws, if I'm not mistaken. And, because they only gave them 3 points.
Only one basket.
Yeah.
Only one basket in the quarter. The other 4 were at the charity stripe, 4 out of 6.
Yeah, and, it is one of those things to where, the first, 7 minutes and 30 seconds of the third quarter giving them 3 points, that was, strangulation, as far as defense goes.
Devils put it out there, now 9-0 on the season, 4-0 in the conference. Great opportunity, great job there. And then tomorrow night, it's crosstown at the Pit. It's a fun one where Coach Douglas and Coach Meyer, both friends. Now, once you get on the court, they both want to win.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt about it. And both teams want to win. And we're all in the same town. We're all going to root for each other. But tomorrow night, you're going to root for who you want to root for.
Well, yeah, it's going to be one of those. There'll be a lot of blue. Let's put that, out at the Pit, but different colors of blue.
Should be a fun one here. And we'll, of course, have Coach come up here in the post-game show, talk about this one, break it down. We'll hear from his comments. They'll be brought to you by Cunis Honda and Cunis Hyundai. And one more time, I'll remind everybody, this Sunday, 5 to 7, Festival Lights is open from 5 to 9, but from 5 to 7, Cunis, with your Cunis license plate, you can get them to pay it free. And there are also some candy canes out there while they last. So get out there before Coach Pettit gets out there.
Probably be a good idea.
As I'm breaking down the score here real quick, the band has left, so you're not going to hear them right now. So make sure you got my scoring there, Coach. Always seem to slip a couple points by me. And it looks like tonight 2 points is trying to hide somewhere in the game. So I'll give you what I've got unofficially, and we'll go from there. Good chance that it's in one category here. One guy had quite a game here as far as scoring, as he was at the charity stripe for 6 for 8. And then he also scored 3 baskets for 6. That's 12. Yep, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12,
that
14.
kid shot with 19.
Good.
On the board.
Awesome. That's the 2 I missed. That's why I figured I missed my 2 points, because he's the one guy that did most of the scoring. Now I just got to figure out which quarter, which should be real easy with my box scores. All right, let me break this thing down for you, folks. Here's the way the game started off. Tyler Sprick hit a 3-pointer to start from the left corner. Tyler would not score the rest of the game. We didn't need him to score. Did such a good job out there. Devils, after 1 quarter, were up 16 to 8. Second quarter, worked hard, stretched it up. Halftime, 23-18, 5-point lead. Coach Pettit and I talked about it at halftime, and we talked about some of the keys in putting the pressure. In the third quarter, the Devils only gave up 6 points, only 1 basket. The other 4 were free throws, and they built their lead up, scoring 14 themselves, 37-24, then held on to the fourth quarter. Lowest scoring game this year, and yes, I said we've been hitting 60. Hey, that's my fault, but the W was there, the defense was there, and the final was 50-34. Devils win by 16 and look pretty good doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been one of those, trips up here. Wish the girls would have won last night so we could have the double W.
Well,
but, once again, you've got, 2 really good teams up here at United Township, and the Blue Devil boys tonight definitely outplayed their counterparts from East Moline.
And remember, when we get back to Quincy, those fans out there, you got to make sure you get there, because the home victories are very important, and especially on the girls' side, you want to get out and check the Awu girl out. She's a pretty good player, but we've got a stud team, and I really think looking at that, they're going to evaluate that, and next time we're going to get them.
Well, they're only 3 losses. Let's face it. Defending state champions, O'Fallon, who I believe is ranked 4th in 4A, the United Township team last night, and then, our third loss was to Galesburg, who I believe is ranked 3rd in the state in 3A. And I think Galesburg can play with a lot of the 4A teams, if not all of them.
Oh, the Kilgore girl is another one of those athletes. Take the Kilgore girl and the Awu girl and our girls and put them together. We've got already a good conference team before we look at the rest of the conference there. The Kilgore was a guard playing pretty tough, and she could play inside. She was listed, I think we said 5'8", and she definitely looked taller than our 5'8" girls.
Yeah, she was a good 5'11", I think. And the way she handled the ball, the way she shot the ball, when the game was in the balance, she had the ball in her hands, and she was either making a shot or making a good decision and a good pass. So, yeah, I mean, their 3 losses have been to top-ranked, very, very good ball teams. So I look for a lot of good things from the Lady Blue Devils this year, as long as the boys, and then go on the other side of town, Notre Dame ladies and the Notre Dame boys. My gosh, I think they've got, 3 losses between both of them. So,
yep.
Once again, Mecca Sports, we're going to try to bring you the best games that we can find, out of these 4 teams, because I don't think there's a better small community, and Quincy's not a small community, but it's not a community of 200,000 people.
Right. We're not talking about the Bloomington Normal area or any part
Peoria,
of Chicago.
Champaign. It's you got 35,000 people in the town, and you got 4 quality programs.
Well, and Coach, we're going to have to fight through on the girls' side with the Blue Devils. We're going to have to fight obviously through Alton and O'Fallon.
Yeah.
And right now,
I think Alton's 3rd and O'Fallon's 5th.
They might be 5th. Yes, it's 2 apart. Yeah, I was just about to say they're 2 apart.
5th, yep.
I didn't know if it was 3rd and 5th or fourth, and sixth, but I think third and fifth is right. And O'Fallon's the fifth, the defending state champion. And, of course, Alton, 2 losses last year, both to O'Fallon.
Yep.
So they had to lose the first round of the sectionals out there. But the Blue Devil girls are on it because they had a heck of a game against Alleman, 59-29. Alleman was one of those teams being talked about.
I think they're ranked in 2A, if I'm not mistaken. Alleman.
I did not
I
bring.
think they were 9-2, and I think they were ranked like 8th or 9th.
Well, we got that while we're waiting for Coach out here. Well, let me see if I've got. I have that somewhere, but I think I put my girls' stuff away because if I don't put that all in a different place, each time I start getting it all bundled up, and then I start getting confused and mixing them up, and it's like, all right, boys on boys' night, girls on girls' night. So, and I'll tell you, like we said, the Blue Devil girls, they're at the State Farm Classic this year. We'll give one more plug for the girls as they will start on the 27th of December, and they get to play Springfield at 6:30.
6:30, and then we'll watch Pecatonica, who's ranked number 2 in 1A. We'll be playing the Notre Dame boys, I think, at 9:30, if I'm not mistaken.
At State Farm and at Normal West Gym A. So those are the 2 matchups, while the Blue Devils that day will be playing at Collinsville, and they have Oakville, Missouri, and they have the 2:30 in the afternoon game. We will it'd be nice if we could pick that one up and get up to Bloomington, but we'll catch the 2 Bloomington games. Then the next day when the Devils play 2 games, 11:30 is their first game no matter what. I love the way they do that. Win or lose, you head either to the auxiliary gym or the main gym, the Fletcher gym, and it's at 11:30. And so then after that, you'll have to determine what time you play because it will be a breakdown whether you win or lose. So, but that should be great. They play Springfield High School, by the way, the Quincy girls, and we will be in Quincy. Well, we will be in Quincy. I'm always in Quincy. We'll be in Springfield next Tuesday. Will you be down for that?
We'll see.
All right, we'll see for Coach Pettit. But over at Springfield High against the Senators, and that should be a good one. You got any questions tonight?
No fouling.
You are going to.
What?
Coach, we're going to start off with a victory here. And Coach Pettit's already got it out there. All right, at first when I got to halftime and we had 23 points, I said, oh, you made the comment about 60 points. Real good job there, Jeff. But what I really thought I saw tonight was defensively, and especially then in the third quarter, we picked it up. We only gave up 6 points in the third quarter, only 1 basket. The rest of them were free throws.
Yeah, no, it was better effort. Still not to the level that we need to be at on either side. But I thought we got lost a lot in that first half. We give up one guy here, one guy there, backdoor cuts, not paying attention to help. Not stunting at drives, just a little sloppy. We got off to a sloppy start, and telling the guys like, man, we can't afford to put ourselves in that hole. And a lot of people say, well, you were still up, and we were, but again, as well as I do against the top teams on our schedule, that's a hole that a lot of times you're not going to be able to dig yourself out of. So. The focus, the energy, we gotta be more consistent in that area.
And when you do say we got beat, it was a loss situation. I mean, a guy was under the basket, nobody was around him, and it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I just turned my back for a second. It was kind of, how did he get there? And we didn't see him. Just
a lack of focus there, and you're going to have some of those, but it can't be a full half, here and there of them. And I thought it was so. But a better effort, much better effort in the third quarter to, lock up defensively, pull down some rebounds, get loose in transition, play our game, play our tempo, and, we looked good when we did.
And other than in the second half when, and this was when you just go, oops, Ralph's going to pass the ball to Tyler, and Tyler's listening to you, and next thing the ball goes by him. And he actually was almost scared when he turned because he wasn't ready for it. That was really the only mistake I saw really bad in the second. Yeah. It was just one of those oops.
Right. And you're going to have some of those. And I thought they did a pretty good job of playing through that, not dwelling on the mistake and going at each other. They put it behind, moved on, and that's what mature teams do.
I thought we hit the boards well, and I tell you, Keyshawn continues to play like a man. I know he's double digits in rebounds tonight. He was all over getting the ball, and what we expected, really what we expected when we heard him his freshman year talk about he was going to be the best player ever to wear number 42. He had that pride in him, and he didn't know who wore 42 before. But
he did. He did. No, he's done a heck of a job, man. He takes coaching really well. It doesn't matter if it's coming from us, his teammates. Like, if you say something, he's going to work on it. You know, and you can tell just by his body, he's grown a lot in that area. You know, he's able to get up and down the floor really well, and he's, you know, one of the toughest guys that we have on the team.
And he gets quick to the basket too a lot of times. And Camden gets so quick when he's down low, and I know when you had that guard on him, it was let's post him up and push the ball down to him.
Yeah, with him and Brad both, and even Ralph at times. Like those guys they're all really good back to the basket type of players. You know, we've seen that from Brad a few times, we've seen it from Camden a few times already this year. So that's the luxury that we have. If they're going to have, you know, a team with one big, like they do, we can pull Keyshawn away from the basket. You know, we've seen him knock down another perimeter shot if they're just going to lay off of him. He's confident enough to knock that down, but you know, good all-around effort by the guys.
And of course, as we always talk about with this team, you don't need, you know, Bradley or anybody to be the main scorer. Bradley tonight had 3 baskets, still contributed very well on defense, and then when he needed to pull up a little 14-footer, nothing but net.
Right. Yeah, and everybody has their spot within what we do offensively, and you know, again, I don't think that we were crisp throughout. Like we have to be. This is a veteran squad, so you know, some of the frustrations that we shouldn't have with this group. You know, and we were sloppy with it at times. We didn't get into our stuff, and but no, he does a lot of things. Whether he's scoring 20 points or scoring whatever he had tonight, he does so many other things defensively. You know, he was not a liability on defense at all. He stayed in front of his guy. You see his body; he's gotten a lot stronger. So he's able to be a little more physical defensively. He had a good night.
And, of course, it's leadership. That's what you want from everybody out there, and he is one of those leaders. So now we get to take a step back again away from the Western Big Six, have a little fun with the crosstown rivalry, wander over to the pit tomorrow night. And it isn't always it's always a fun game. I mean, everybody's, you know, got the Blue Devils and the Raiders that are cheering for them all. But when we go into this, you both have respects for your programs. You're both friends. So it is a fun night.
Yep, get a good sleep tonight. Put together the game plan and be ready to go tomorrow night.
Sounds like a winner. Congratulations tonight. Safe trip home, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it.
And that's Coach Andy Douglas. And, of course, his comments are always brought to you by Quincy Honda. Quincy Honda, but it's no longer called Quincy Honda. It's Cunis Honda and Cunis Hyundai. And don't forget Sunday. Sunday. No, it's not the Monster Race. It's the Festival of Lights. We appreciate Coach Douglas coming down here. Now, is he wandering over to the other side and trying to figure out how to get up top? So anyway, Coach, you heard from Coach, and really what we expected and what we pretty well broke down as well. Defense is what got us there. We weren't as crisp as we have been, and we weren't as offensively crisp, but it still comes away with a nice victory out here. You know, 50 to 34. You can't complain.
I mean, offenses look crisp when the shots go down. You know, I thought we had some good looks at the basket in the first half. You know, they just didn't fall. You know, second half, you know, we ratcheted it down on defense, you know, especially in the third quarter. You know, built the, 5-point lead up to a 13-point lead, and then basically kept it, you know, between 13 and, 16 to 18, you know, for the rest of the ball game, you know, and the Blue Devils come out with a much-needed road W here in the Western Big Six.
Yeah, we appreciate all of you out there watching and listening there. So, again, you can watch us again tomorrow night at the pit. Game time tip is set for 7 o'clock. If you're heading out there, the first game is at 5. Second game's at 7. They put a half hour in there, as they've been smart enough over the last couple of years to realize if you want the tip to start exactly at 7 o'clock, you're going to have to give a little leadway time on there. So, but tickets were already sold. I don't know if they've got any other tickets left. You might be able to get some at the door at the pit. They've been selling them at both gymnasiums the last couple of days. But get out there, and it should be a lot of fun. Like I said, the atmosphere will be fun. The pit packed is always fun.
And if you can't get out there, stay at home, turn your TV on, YouTube, Mecca Sports Co.
And if you
subscribe, like, and hit the bell, and then you can watch us on your 75-inch, 65-inch TV tomorrow night.
And we'll promise you that we will not, we are radio voices, we will not show you our faces and scare you. So I'll promise you, I'll make sure the camera doesn't go towards either one of us. I got to include myself in that one too. I always love the face for radio. So from UT and the Panther Den, Quincy High comes up takes care of business and avenges the loss last night of the girls with a victory 50-34, leading the way tonight. Of course, I forgot to break down the scoring for those fans.
And we have to have our MVP.
And that's what I was just looking at here. Breaking down the scoring for the Blue Devils, scoring 16, 23, 37, and 50 in the quarters as they go. They were led with 19 points. Keyshawn Thomas, all but 2 free throws from the lane. 9 points out of Camden Brown. 8 points from Dom Clay. Hit a couple threes, one in the second quarter, one in the fourth. 6 points from Bradley Loncourt the third, and 3 from Tyler Sprick. Cameron Wires was in the game, did not score, as well as Isaiah Talton. I believe that was the rest of the lineup there for the Devils. 50 on the other side. For UT, they were led in scoring, 11 points. Josiah Macy hit them, and that was a guard, too, that got a lot of them down around the basket. 10 points from Dominique Roden. 7 points from their big kid, Octavius Hickman. Dropped down with a three-pointer there by Adrian Hughes late in the ball game, and a three-pointer by Max Colgan. Actually, it was 3 out of 4 from the free throw line, and that's 34 for East Moline, now 6-2, and they are 3-1 in the conference. Blue Devils are now 9-0 and 4-0 in the conference. And Coach, your player of the game?
No ifs. Keyshawn Thomas had a heck of a ball game. I mean, from start to finish. You know, he controlled the boards, 19 points. Gosh, he had to have at least 12, 13 rebounds tonight, if not more.
Double-double.
Got a lot of, fingertips on balls. I think did a very good job on the Hickman kid because, I thought when he came out and hit that 3 to start the game, I was like, uh-oh, what we got going on here? But he did a great job on him the rest of the game.
Indeed. So, Keyshawn, you're our player of the game. The Devils win 50-34. And we'll be back tomorrow night for a great ball game. If you want to get out during the afternoon, check out the girls. They play at noon. Actually, the Lady Raiders play at noon at John Wood Rumble on the River. 1:30 right after that, the Quincy High girls play at Cairo.
We're going, aren't we?
And they play at 1:30 as well. So those are 2. And then tomorrow night, you'll get us right at the pit for a great ball game there between the Raiders and the Blue Devils. So for Coach Pettit, I'm Jeff Wellman. The final here one more time. The Quincy High Blue Devils 50 and the East Moline, I want to say Peoria so bad, Panthers 34. So glad you could be with us. You've been listening to Blue Devil Basketball on mechasportsco.com. Good night, everyone.